Are you ready for some more beef? Are you ready for number 49 on my list of top 50 Jason Whitlock media beefs? Bill O'Reilly, the former host of the O'Reilly Factor. This beef started and ended, but it started in December of 2012. Bill O'Reilly was upset with me about something that I wrote about gun control. In the aftermath, there was a Kansas City Chiefs football player, I think his name's Javon Belcher, he was a linebacker. He shot and killed his, I think, live-in baby mama or maybe wife, and then he shot and killed himself. He was a linebacker for the Chiefs. Obviously, I was quite familiar, having worked in Kansas City from 1994 until 2010. And so I wrote a column in December of 2012 that went national, went viral. Everybody was talking about it. And at that time in 2012, I was anti-Second Amendment. And I wrote a piece saying that Javon Belcher would still be alive today if we weren't so cavalier about handing out handguns in America. Bill O'Reilly was upset. The column went national because on Sunday Night Football, Bob Costas, who worked for NBC at the time, on Sunday Night Football, he read a portion of the column on Sunday Night Football, and so everybody was talking about it. Here's a little excerpt of Bob Costas.
A bit of it comes from the Kansas City-based writer Jason Whitlock, with whom I do not always agree, but who today said it so well that we may as well just quote or paraphrase from the end of his article. Our current gun culture, Whitlock wrote, ensures that more and more domestic disputes will end in the ultimate tragedy, and that more convenience store confrontations over loud music coming from a car will leave more teenage boys bloodied and dead.
So that's Bob Costas talking about me on Sunday Night Football. Probably 30 million people watching the game. He's reading my column. It's another big moment for my writing career. And boy, oh boy, were conservatives really upset. Were pro-Second Amendment people really upset. And Bill O'Reilly was one of those people. And so for 3 straight days on the O'Reilly Factor on Fox News, Bill O'Reilly kept opening his show talking about me and taking pot shots at me. I love smoke. I love beef. And so Bill O'Reilly, and I think Bill O'Reilly's main guy was Juan Williams at that time, and they were sitting on air and talking about why won't Whitlock come on the O'Reilly Factor? Why won't Whitlock come on the O'Reilly Factor? And I think Juan was saying that, he should consider it an honor to come on this show. And Bill O'Reilly just kept getting madder and madder about the fact that I wouldn't consent to an interview. And that ended up provoking me to write a follow-up column where I further articulated my position on the Second Amendment and gun control and all of that. And because I had done an interview with the Tom Joyner morning radio program, and I had misspoken, and O'Reilly had jumped on it, and he was trashing me. So finally, he provoked a response from me. I brought out my heavy artillery and wrote an entire column trashing Bill O'Reilly and telling him like, hey, homie, just because you said come to the big house don't mean I got to come to the big house. I'm not going to shuffle off to be on your show just because you want me on your show. And that pretty much quieted things down. There's a lot of truth to what I'm saying. Is like, you want to get mad because I don't want to come on your show and have some argument with you about it and give you the ratings. But there was also an insinuation that I made in that argument, in that column. It's like, yeah, Bill O'Reilly's treating me like I'm his boy and he can tell me where I need to be and what. It was an underhanded or a slight insinuation of the race card. So I had this feud, I had this beef with Bill O'Reilly. Who won the feud? Bill O'Reilly won the feud. Because at the time that I'm writing all this anti-Second Amendment stuff, I was naively thinking, there's no way leftists would take our guns and then start taking our freedoms and rights away. I always thought that was a conspiracy theory. That's Republicans and conservatives, that's them overreacting. The people on the left, progressive, they're not that crazy. They would never take our guns away and then start taking our rights away. Boy, was I wrong. Boy, was I wrong. And as I sit here today, and as I now have a more mature view of like, holy cow, these Marxists, these leftists, if they get our guns, we are SOL, and I can't have that. And so I have clearly flipped positions on the Second Amendment. And anybody that has any questions about it, and I came to this conclusion long before COVID, but if you have any questions about what leftists will do if they take our guns away, just go look at the COVID pandemic. They would have come door to door with guns, forcing that injection on all of us. And so yes, now I have a far more sophisticated, nuanced, mature view of the Second Amendment. I understand what the gun actually represents, that who's actually in charge. It's supposed to be us, the American people, and that's why the founders wanted us to have a gun to protect us from a government that they knew would turn tyrannical if the people didn't have guns. And I get all the arguments about it's safer in other countries, but it ain't as free in other countries. And there is a price we have to pay for freedom. And that price is our citizens need to be armed. We have to protect that right, because if not, we'll be living in a communist, Marxist, godless country, kind of like where we're headed now, sooner rather than later. So Bill O'Reilly is one of the few people that I have to say, he won a beef with me. I was dead wrong. I'm rarely dead wrong, but I don't win all my beefs. And so now, you know, I appear on O'Reilly's show. I'm much more friendly with Bill O'Reilly. Bill O'Reilly, hats off to you. You're the only person to knock, as far as I know, we'll see what's on the rest of these other 48 candidates, but you're the only person to knock me out in a beef. Oh, man. I thought I was, you know, hey, Muhammad Ali got knocked out and he's still the GOAT. Or he, not knocked out, but Muhammad Ali lost some fights and he's still the GOAT. So I lost a fight. Big deal. All right, that's B49, Bill O'Reilly.